Contestant number 5, Alan Donegan, with a speech entitled, "I don't think I would do now what I did then. Would you?" With a speech entitled, "I don't think I would do now what I did then. Would you?" Alan Donegan.
I am 30. Well, actually, that's not quite true. I'm 30, 1 month and 16 days old. And I can't believe I've made it this far. Especially considering all the things that have happened to me in my past. I've survived bone-crushing car accidents. I've survived gun-toting drug dealers on Caribbean islands. I've even survived wearing a 60s outfit made by my mum. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and to all of you that have grown older and wiser with age. It is with this reflection in mind that I want to speak to you tonight about what we can learn from a 21-year-old Alan. Do you remember what it was like to be 21? I was young. I was naive. I was green around the edges. And I'd always wanted to go to Brazil. I wanted to go for the carnival. I wanted to play football on the beach, Brazilian style. I'd always wanted to meet the locals. So I got on a plane and I flew to Rio de Janeiro, Città Maravilhosa. Roughly translated, that means marvelous city, or at least that's what the guidebook said. What the book didn't tell me was that Rio is the most dangerous city in the world. There are 15 murders every day. 3 of them are by the police. So I got to the airport. The sun was coming down, it was setting, it was late afternoon, and I took a taxi towards my hotel. As we got closer to the hotel, the taxi driver turned to me and he said, you know, it's a bad area. It's a bad area, you know? It's drugs, it's guns. No, my friends, I was not thinking how much and where can I buy them. I was scared. I was nervous. And as we got even closer to the hotel, I could see we were entering a favela, a slum. There were burning oil drums in the road. There were dodgy characters lurking in the shadows. There was the smell of raw sewage in the air. And there was my hotel. Carefully chosen from the internet. It had bars on the windows. The only type of bars there should be at hotels are the mini ones. So I got to the hotel. I had a look round. Now I wonder what you would do in my situation. Looking back as a 30-year-old, I don't think I would do now what I did then. The time is 2 o'clock in the morning. You are in the most dangerous city in the world. Would you have gone out for a walk? I did. I walked down the street, Copacabana Beach to my right, the skyscrapers of Rio to my left, when I heard a shout from the shadows. Apartamento! Now, roughly translated, that means apartment. I did not want to stay in that hotel for a moment longer, so I went to find out what was going on, and I made friends with a dodgy Brazilian named Carlos. He said to me, "Hey, you want a cheap apartment? You come with me. You meet Madame Zelda." You come down the alley. Now, again, looking back, as a 30-year-old, I don't think I would do now what I did then. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You are in the most dangerous city in the world. Would you have gone down that alley? Not even for a cheap apartment? I did. I went and I met Madame Zelda, the tiny, ancient Brazilian woman with huge character. She showed me her apartment. It was nice. It had a little kitchen. It had a sofa and a telly. And it had a massive bedroom with a huge double bed. And the walls were mirrored. And the ceiling was mirrored. You could see yourself from all sorts of angles. I thought, I like it. I thought, I'll have it. 4 o'clock in the morning, they called the translator. She translated the contract. I signed the deeds and I stayed in that apartment on Copacabana Beach for 2 weeks. I can't believe I survived. But what have we learnt from this 21-year-old Alan? Well, firstly, if you find yourself in an area that is less than desirable, remember that you too can call Carlos on 1-800-500-500 cheap apartments. Secondly, if you rent an apartment with mirrored walls and a mirrored ceiling, please remember, mirrors are a pig to keep clean. And thirdly, before visiting a major city, please check the murder rates. Especially considering that in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, 20% of the murders are committed by the police, and yet they only solve 3% of them. I've yet to work this out. It is with these 3 lessons in mind that I have made it here tonight to be with you. 30, 1 month, 16 days, and 7 minutes. Mr. Contest Chair.